History, for Poland, has never been a silent archive of dusty scrolls and forgotten kings. It has been a living river, wild and unrelenting, shaping not only the land but the very soul of its people. Few nations have been tested so many times by fire and darkness, and yet few have answered so consistently with life, faith, and defiance. From the deep corridors of Poland's past, great lessons rise. Lessons carved not by easy victories, but by trials where the heart of a nation was weighed against the might of empires and found enduring. First, and perhaps most profound, is the lesson that identity is not found in borders, but in spirit. Poland's history is a saga of vanished frontiers, of partitions that erased its name from the map of Europe for 123 years. Between 1795 and 1918, three empires, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, swallowed the Polish state whole, believing that by dividing land and silencing voices, they could snuff out a nation. But they misunderstood the Polish soul. In villages and salons, in clandestine schools where children whispered forbidden prayers in Polish, in poems and songs smuggled through the countryside like sacred relics, the idea of Poland burned brighter precisely because it was denied. A nation's true fortress is not its cities nor its castles, but its memory, its language, and its refusal to forget itself. Thus, Poland taught the world that even when erased from maps, a people can exist, resist, and someday resurrect. Flowing from this is another vital truth. That sacrifice, even in the face of certain defeat, holds a sacred dignity. Poland's long history is strewn with uprisings, heroic, tragic, often doomed, from the November Uprising of 1830 to the Warsaw Uprising of 1944. Time and again, the Polish people rose against towering odds, knowing the likely outcome was death, not victory. Cynics might scoff at these lost causes, but to Poland, they are the marrow of national pride. The lesson is not merely to win, but to stand for freedom, for dignity, for the right to be counted among the free peoples of the world. It is a fierce creed, that there are values more precious than survival, and that courage is its own kind of immortality. Linked closely to this is Poland's intimate understanding of the cost and necessity of resilience. Few moments in human history embody resilience more starkly than the years of Nazi occupation during World War II, when Poland suffered as the first victim of Hitler's blitzkrieg and endured some of the war's most unspeakable atrocities. The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, where starved and desperate Jews chose to fight rather than be led quietly to extermination, stands as a testament not only to Poland's resilience, but to the universal human yearning for dignity even at the end of all hope. And after the war, with the Soviet yoke replacing the Nazi one, Poland once again refused to surrender its soul. Through decades of grey tyranny, it nurtured quiet revolutions. Through the whispers of intellectuals, the prayers of the faithful, the strikes of shipyard workers in Gdansk, until finally, the Solidarity movement, led by an electrician named Lech Wałęsa, shattered the iron walls with the unbreakable force of hope. Yet, Poland's history also teaches the danger of internal division. In the golden age of the 16th and early 17th centuries, Poland stood as one of Europe's great powers, a commonwealth that stretched from the Baltic to the Black Sea, famous for its liberties and its rich pluralistic culture. But the very freedoms that were Poland's pride, the liberum veto, the unchecked power of noble factions, became, in time, its undoing. Paralysis, infighting, and selfishness allowed external powers to tear the Commonwealth apart piece by piece. From this bitter experience rises a warning. Liberty must be wedded to unity and responsibility, lest freedom itself become a weapon turned inward. Perhaps the final and most radiant lesson is that faith in its broadest sense, in God, in justice, in tomorrow, is the secret wellspring of endurance. Whether sung in ancient hymns like Bogurodzyka, chanted in the resistance cells of the Home Army, or embodied in the humble pilgrimages to Częstochowa, faith has been Poland's lantern through its darkest nights. It was no accident that a Polish Pope, John Paul II, became the spiritual catalyst for the collapse of communist totalitarianism across Eastern Europe. His call to be not afraid echoed through Poland's streets like a trumpet's cry to a people long accustomed to fear, yet never conquered by it. Thus, the history of Poland, written in blood, prayer, rebellion, and song, offers to the world a legacy as profound as it is beautiful, that identity transcends conquest, that sacrifice in a just cause has a holiness no tyranny can erase, that resilience is not passive endurance, but active defiance, that liberty without unity is a castle built on sand, and that faith, quiet, stubborn, luminous, can move not only hearts but empires. In every era, Poland has been a mirror held up to humanity, reflecting both the heights we may aspire to and the abyss we must resist. Its story is not just its own, it belongs to all who believe that from ruin can rise resurrection and from despair, undying hope. Dziękuję. Like and subscribe to remember these lessons.